y'all? What's good? What's good? My man in society, it is your host with the most, Shadow Loke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and or subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. It's absolutely free. Don't cost a damn thing. And you'll be helping my channel out a lot. Now, what I wanted to talk about, but before I get into it, just to make this clear, I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I am not a liberal. I am not a conservative. Right? I stand with no political party. I think that they all full of shit. I am not a fan of Biden. I was not a fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of Kamala. I'm not a fan of none of them. Okay? So just to make that clear. Before people think I'm siding with one or defending one or the other and stuff like that. No. Right? Because to me, they're all in the same boat. But for different reasons, right? But, one of the things that, politics nowadays, the circus that it has become, because truly it has become, a circus, right? The campaign trails before used to be where the presidents or the runners, for presidency would go around talking about their ideas and what they're bringing to the table, right? What they're planning to do, how they're planning to do this, and all of that, right? And if the people like the ideas that are being presented, then they go and vote for the person, with ideas, right? So that's how it works, right? They come, provide us with their plans, whatever, and then we, as the, voters, decide if we want to vote for this person or not. That's what the campaign trail is all about. But in recent times, the campaign trail has been about slandering, insulting, name calling, airing out people's laundry, just, digging up secrets and stand-up comedy, pretty much, you know what I mean? You see Trump playing the recordings of Kamala and her laugh and stuff like that. Shit that it's petty, bro. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, with all bullshit to the side, like how could people that behave like this, people actually see as people that are worthy to be presidents? Look at their behavior though. Like people think that that's okay. Like, insulting people, name calling, that's how a president needs to behave. Somebody who's holding our country in their hands, who has to meet with other diplomats and be able to talk and with a level head and fix things and get America going, right? It's like nobody will get somebody that is name calling and insulting other people like a high schooler, right? And get them to now go and negotiate for them to, like, let's say, buy a house. You wouldn't get a fucking, one of these individuals to go and do that. So why would you choose that as a president? You know what I mean? And now people say, here's the thing, though. My problem with Donald Trump, and I'll get to Kamala too, and Biden, but starting off with Trump. My problem with Trump is that people say that this is not true and that, his behavior and all that is not racist, is not hate, is not hatred, and there's none of that, right? That he doesn't promote none of that. That is what it said, right? That he doesn't promote none of that. He stands for America and the people and everything like that. Okay, then why is it that so many of Trump supporters, end up coming out being racist, saying racist slurs and hateful messages and rallies? Then, if that's not what he's giving off, then why are so many of his supporters getting that message and expressing themselves with those views, if that's not how they're receiving the message? You know what I mean? Like Hulk Hogan, who wants me to see me body slam Kamala and drop the leg on her, and what is she, a chameleon? How? And yeah, because they feel like it's okay because they see Donald Trump do it, making fun of others and their ethnicities and stuff like that, right? And coming, with aggressive talk. So they feel that it's appropriate behavior. And most Trump supporters, that's why they tend to start insulting and name calling and all of that themselves. Because they see that their president's doing it. So it must be okay to do it. Because that's how our chief, carries himself. He is the role model. That's why they behave like that. Now, that's not to say that all Trump supporters behave in that manner, or all Trump supporters receive the message in that way. But I'm saying, why is it that Trump supporters are the ones that, are the ones that have those or tend to have those moments? Because of the message, how it's being received, right? Because of what he's throwing out there, what he puts out there, how it comes across. That's why. And I get it. It's not, his fault that the people perceive his message like that. I know. But that's why it's important to know how to talk, right? And to always watch what you say. You have freedom of speech here in America. You're entitled to feel and say whatever you want. This is very true, right? But words do motivate and they impact. And as an adult, you have to know how to be able to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? As adults should. That's what separates an adult from a child. They know how to conversate. You know what I mean? If you can't get your message across without insulting the other person, then you have no right to be, talking to anybody. But like I said, you are entitled to say whatever you want, right? But then don't be mad now when people perceive it some way and you get backlash because they're entitled to feel that way as well. It's within their rights. You know what I mean? You have to respect others. How do you want people to respect you or to gain the respect by coming and insulting them and name calling and all that? Where does it work like that? Tell me, right? Because it seems instead of showing the respect, the first thing that they want to do is straight insult. Like as soon as, well, who's gonna be the runner up? Kamala. Oh, and then they start, now coming with all this shit. Like the first thing was to go and insult and attack, the looks and the, whatever, something about her. But that was the first thing to do. Why? Because that's how entertainment works, like WWE, like promoting boxing and everything. The entertainment, that's where that comes in. Because he fails to separate the two. This is not a TV show. You're not promoting a movie or a fucking, a spectacle event, of combat. You're campaigning to be the voice and the chief of the United States. You know what I mean? That's why, I feel like he's not, right to be president, right? Wow. Why I'm not a fan of Kamala, why I think Kamala's not right for presidency, is because she tends to neglect and run away from subjects that she's not comfortable or has no knowledge in, right? If she's not comfortable or doesn't know much about, certain things, she tends to avoid those subjects, avoid those topics, and avoid even though that's part of your job. That's why a lot of the times when she goes on air, right, and she's being interviewed and she's asked certain questions, that's where those moments come where she looks like she doesn't know, how to even spell her name. Because she doesn't take the time to educate herself and to actually focus in on this because it doesn't interest her or she's not, too familiar with that field. Because, being the vice president and president in itself is a big job, And even though you come with good credentials, when you're president, you have to deal with a bunch of other stuff, right? That you're probably not going to be too much of, a professional in, right? Or know too much, right? But that's why you educate yourself, and that's where the work comes in. You take the time to now, dive into all of that. But she chooses not to, and you can tell because she's clueless when she's being asked this kind of stuff. Or even like, have you gone and visited the border yet? Why not? That's a big, focus point, right here. Yet you're choosing not to go because you just don't care or you see it irrelevant. When you see that the American people clearly, this is a big splitting point, with the country, even though I have talked about how all that shit's irrelevant. But, nonetheless, though, you're not even taking the time to at least try to, make it seem like you care. At least to, now, gain the trust of Republicans. It's almost like, fuck them. We don't need to, cater to them. We're only going to cater to those who are Democrats. No, your job is to cater to the American people, not to fucking political parties. It's not the Democrat United States or the Republican United States. It's all. Your job is to, listen and help the people, despite whatever party they belong to. So they choose to like neglect these other people who don't, whatever. Like I said, you can't help them for viewing your party this way. You have to be the bigger person and gain their trust and show them that you're willing to listen. That goes for both sides, not just, on the Democrat side, right? But on the Republicans as well. Because I guarantee you, these people could come with some good ideas, whether they're Republican or Democrat. You just got to listen. And you can, and there's a middle ground that you can meet in, but nobody wants to meet in the middle ground. It's either you either lean, more right or more left, or nothing, or we have no deal. When it's like, why can't it be 50-50? Nah, because I don't want to be even with you. Grow up already. It's not about political parties. It's about America. Get your head out of your ass. Like, oh, I wouldn't hang out with a Democrat, or I wouldn't hang out with a Republican. I would never be friends or date somebody. Like immature kids, bro. Like, you're telling me that just because a Democrat or Republican that they can have no good ideas or good views, or that they can be good people? No, it's impossible. Because you know this information 100, that this is 100%, right? Stop being ignorant. You're acting just like the very people that you claim, are immature or dumb. You know what I mean? It's not about political parties. It's about the people in general. That's why I feel like neither of them, or even when Biden was there, were right for this country. We deserve better than those two goofballs, or even Kamala. Because clearly they're not showing that they have changed anything, any of these, how could I say, weaknesses that they have. They're not even at least trying. No one said that they have to come 100 and fix it or whatever, but at least trying to make an effort. It seems like they're not. And overall, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Leave in the comments and share it. We up.